Peace and blessings. This is Mr. Westbrooks, educator, astronumerologist, and co-host of Unread Book Review with Nick and Rue. Let me put y'all up on this new ebook series that's here to educate our people of all ages, especially the youth, about our collective power, both historically, presently, and beyond. Voices of the Diaspora, written by Knowledge Born Allah, is unique in that it takes the traditional e-reading experience and infuses it with audio recordings, revolutionary songs, and revolutionary music videos. Some of the topics include stories about Black entrepreneurs, stories about Black women who have shaped our world, and stories of Black innovators who've impacted the field of STEAM, plus much more. If you want to know more about this series and what it has to offer, check out our unread episode featuring Knowledge Born Allah, who was also the founder and host of Do the Knowledge Radio. After the interview, go log on to dotheknowledgeradio.com so you can get your copy of Voices of the Diaspora so that you, your family, your community, and your world can be inspired by the stories of visionaries shaping our future and honoring our past. Thank you in advance for your support and continue striving to be the best version of yourself. Peace.
It's just different.
Yo, peace and black power. It's your brother Knowledge Born Allah. Do the Knowledge Radio. The place where I was
Do the
born.
Knowledge Radio.
This is 3K.
Think tank.
This is 3K.
Hey.
This is
Hey,
3K.
I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. Who ducked, who drew down, return fire. We're the warriors, the healers, enlighten us. I'm tired of the same old, that game old with an upgrade. I'm a sunbathe in the sun rays while my guns blazing, they complain. Level my level not attainable. My metal not malleable. I'm a man, didn't need that manual. Reparations is incalculable. Yeah, we wanted in blood, dead in the begging, head in the beheading, metal to the meddling. Members is aggressive, getting to the Armageddon. Karma, seem calmer when it comes to retribution. Caliber, catalyst in my clips and I use them on traitors and haters and the ones that spread confusion. Cause the devil's playground wasn't built for our amusement. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. Impenetrable armor, Orient aura. This story, this saga get gory before it get calmer. Keep holding that revolutionary posture. 85 gon' dip and dodge her, but when they get monster, they turn into MC Light, earrings, and become door knockers. I'm irate, they pirate the culture, send them to Davy Jones' locker. It's okay. Let them think that you lost it. Be patient, this type of thing you can't force it. Play possum, but nah, not know about the road that they can't comprehend cause the language is coded. We plan ideas and we plan explosives. Make your pockets go for more bits or more bread. The portal done open, they can't close it. You ain't got a sideline, you could cause more risk. No set birth date, no Dorian Gray portraits. It's about to get ugly and these devils can't forfeit. Ancestral memories, so no, I won't forget. What we building is an impenetrable fortress for sure. Every show is just like a course ship, and my flow for sure tighter than your gal's corset. It's okay. We are the source, you can't outsource it. Even Spartans don't want no parts, Nev. What do you know? Before you know it, 3,000 wild Africans at your doorstep. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. No, we will not cower while the rest they play safe. We will move with God's power. This is not for play. Honor my ancestors, play the Orient day. Peace to you, loved ones, stay dangerous and stay safe. AKAs and AKs coming to make their caves cave. Wreck the race like take case, stay dangerous and stay safe.
Brothers just walk up on me and they're just like, you know, you can just see the hunger in their eyes. Like as soon as you know what I mean? They was like, yo, you know, we a group. and we think that you would fuck with us, and you know, I'm telling you, like, we nice, and just give us a fucking chance type of shit.
Survive. Welcome to the knowledge in the building, brother. And you hear what I brother. Part two. I found show you how to do my brother hit me up was like, yo, can't. We supposed to be on today. We can't keep the people. I was like, I got something to do. He's like, I don't care. So I'm like, all right, let's get it together and do this right now. You know what I'm saying? So we here with promise. You understand what I'm saying? You got a legend, you got a dictionary, you have a poetry, you have the writer, you have the scriber, and we have one who stands firm on principle. So because I'm the privilege of part two, a 21 question series right here.
Yeah, what's the word,
Oh,
man?
God's
Y'all,
favorite cat. Okay, God's favorite. You know what I'm saying? He still got boss up in there. He told me
yeah.
God's favorite. You know what I'm saying? So he's in the building. I'm gonna ask you a question. How you feeling? What's the vibe?
That's a good one. You said what? How am I feeling? You gotta turn your mic up a little bit.
How you feeling? What's the vibe?
Man, everything is healthy and whatnot, man. You know, I'm taking it easy. Um, you know, before I ask anything, I just want to. You mind if I give a shout out? That's a question though, but it's not the question I really. You feel me?
Yeah,
You mind if I give a couple of shout
yeah, yeah,
outs?
yeah. You already know what it is.
All right. All right, cool. So look, I want to give a shout out to my man T Gutter, everybody that's a part of the cast for a collection of contradiction. We just reached 57,000 views on YouTube. There's people out there that's actually, you know, they watching us, man. We about to go. We about to climb new heights. May 12th, we're gonna be on something for the culture.
Word.
Um, yeah, we're gonna be with Jazzy J that day or whatnot, or that night rather. Then I want to give a shout out to um a young lady or whatnot. She makes cakes or whatever. She's super dope or whatnot. And I'm hoping that I could actually get a taste. She's a black young lady that owns her own cake business. A little taste of tea. From what I saw, she can make any kind of cake. Or whatnot, pocketbooks, bags, shoes. So y'all look forward to trying to find Google her, look for her Instagram, look for her Facebook, just find out, and y'all go get some cake from her, man. And now that we got the shout outs out the way, man, like, yo, I'm just, I'm excited to be talking to you because you actually have a 6 series book, right?
Yes, sir.
And um, as an author, as an author, I just, did you have a particular target audience for your book as a marketing strategy, or this is something that's for the world?
What I learned in entrepreneurship and what I learned in business, and also one of the things that I learned again that got reiterated in media is everyone is not an audience.
Mm,
So they say, well, who is your product for? Everybody. That is business 101 failure. You can sell to everybody, but you make whatever you make, the product, the service, the skill set, anything that you're marketing to the general public, to a particular person, not even a group of people, a person. So they ask you for your persona, right? Like, who are you writing for? Like, who's sitting on your shoulder when you're writing? Who do you want? to read this. Describe them in as much detail as possible. So I'm writing in essence for a particular character, a young man around my son's age. You know, he's in middle school and he's in class and he's depressed. He's tired every day he comes home from school because he's not learning about himself. You know, if you are a zodiac guy or gal, when the zodiac people are speaking about the zodiac, you tune everything out till they get to your sign. They be like, "Yeah, I'm a Virgo. I'm a Pisces." So, so for the Pisces, the people start paying attention, right? The Virgo people, they start paying attention. The Aquarius people, they start paying attention because you called out their sign. Now they're tuned in. But you're all of those signs on that zodiacal wheel at one point or another throughout the day. So when I'm writing, I'm writing for that young man because I was that young man sitting in the class. I was bored. I used to bring my books to school, Staxx. I used to bring my books. I used to bring Message to the Black Man to school. I used to bring the autobiography of Malcolm X to school. I would do my work real quick, and I would just be reading the books in the class. You know, the other kids, they had comic books. They was drawing the comic books and all that. Nobody was bothering them. But those books that I received from my mother and from my brothers and sisters that I brought to school was one of those things that kept me calm. You know what they did with the books, Staxx? They took the books. So now what I'm going to do in class, I'm going to show out. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not being fed in a way where my mind is being developed cognitively about who I am and what my responsibility is. And it makes school mandatory. You couldn't learn at home. But you always did learn at home. And everything. So I wrote with that young man. The part is the young man that are upset with the lack of representation that they see with themselves in school, whether they're interfacing with a teacher or with a textbook. Somebody with a doctorate degree wrote that textbook. They wrote it for their colleagues. They didn't write it for the children in school.
Right.
So my book, they have image, they have music, they have artistic creativity, all of those things for you to be able to look at them and see yourself and then go do your research. Because you got to pick up your phone and be like, who is LeBron James, right? You know what I'm saying? And you go find out,
Yeah.
like, all right, let's see what he's doing. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, I gave you a bunch of entrepreneurs. If you are a young black woman, I gave you a bunch of black women that aren't being shown in a space that's deplorable. You know, if you were a revolutionary thought leader, I gave you 2 volumes. I gave you volume 3 and volume 4. So you can look at leaders of the past and the present all around the diaspora to be able to be honing in on that. If you are a scientist or you into technology, into engineering, if you're into arts, or if you're into mathematics, I gave you those figures. And then if you are looking in essence to understand this propaganda machine that you are part of, I gave you a whole volume for that. So that young black man, that young black woman could look at those books and they can be inspired. They can see themselves in the space of self-actualization and see proven models of somebody who did what they're looking to do. And the last thing I say on it is that there's a lot of people saying, hey, all you have to do is this, but they don't never show you how, nor do they point you to the right resources. So these young people, they can do it, right? So when I wrote those books, my sons, I had them in mind, right? So when I wrote the first couple of books, I was like, yo, I sent you these books that I wrote, you know what I'm saying? Check them out. They're like, oh, all right, daddy. Yeah, I got football, I got track, or I got basketball, or, whatever the case may be, right? I said, yo, it's 20 pages. Oh, I'm going to read it right now. You understand what I'm saying? So when my son was like, yo, daddy probably wrote a Bible or a Quran or something like that. I don't got no time to be reading through all that. You know? And he's like, oh, this is the music we used to listen to in the car. Oh, these books is ill. Oh, now the next day they go into school talk about my daddy write books. What your daddy do? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like if it works with my children, it works for anybody's children because I literally wrote with them in mind. So people who don't like to read because reading becomes a chore, and those who are looking to see themselves in the most creative manner possible, and bring those things to life.
So one of the coolest things before you ask a question about, well, two of the coolest things that you said that I could highlight is um a lot of times people don't know the difference between an entertainer and a leader, right? Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, those were leaders, right?
Mhm.
LeBron James, Michael Jordan, those are entertainers, right? They do it for the money. They're not doing it for the change, right? They're
Right.
not doing it to make transformation. So it's important that you actually know the difference in the why, right? Um, then the second thing that you stated um, that I caught for myself is generally about the understanding of the partnership, right? If I tell you what to do, but I never tell you how to do it, that doesn't make me a partner, right? Because you'll always have to come back to me for the for an answer, right? But if I show you how to do it, then we won't have to go through that 20 times, right? You won't like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't get nothing out of an ATM that you never put nothing into.
Right. That's right. All right. It's still Aries season, so salute to the Aries, man. Let me do a shout out since you did a shout out. Shout out my brother, Trey Minor, the Bill Minor Group, and Level Up Media. It's his born day today. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him, and shout out to one of my warrior queen sisters, uh, Imamu. It's her birthday today as well. You understand what I'm saying? So, salute to the Aries. They still out here, roaring. You understand what I'm saying? They still out here roaring and ramming. You understand what I'm saying? Making it happen. We're about to hit Taurus season in a couple of days, so we're gonna be eating good, and we're gonna be building up our cult following come Taurus season. You know what I'm saying? So
I,
that's
don't- I don't think I don't think you really care for any of those signs because Gemini season is around the corner. I think you're waiting for them Geminis to touch, man. That's just my personal thing. I'm just
yo,
saying. I'm just
yo.
saying.
See, the beautiful thing about Gemini, it's been Gemini since last Gemini season, right? Like what I'm saying, the way the transits is working with Gemini, the Geminis is rocking. So it's been like a whole year Gemini season, basically. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm waiting patiently. I can't front. You understand? But like I said, when the zodiacal wheel, you every sign, every couple of hours, you change from one sign to the next. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's
The young
definitely
lady, the young lady that has the cake business, Little Taste of Tea, she's actually a Gemini. That's the craziest part. So,
there you go.
like,
See, we rocking. You talking for her here. You understand? That's how we do it. So, you
yeah,
understand? They not like us. They not like us.
they not like us.
Yeah. Word. So I want to talk about this film. You know what I'm saying? This film. What does it feel like? This don't really count as a question, but this conversation started. What does it feel like now to see the third thing that you created, kind of sprout and come to life and be out there and be received in the people, and by the people in the way that it has been so far?
I mean, I think generally that the most important detail of all of this for me is something that I always say is that we are creators, right? We create how people treat us. We create how people treat our family, our loved ones, so on and so forth, even our friendships. We create and set the tone for how people treat our relationships. So, you dating a woman and you disrespect her in public, that means that you're giving every other man the thought pattern that he can get away with it. Now, whether you're gonna be, whether you're gonna kill for them or not is, is subjective to whoever, right? But if it doesn't happen, it won't have to go that far. So at the end of the day, when I when I understood how important being a creator is, I understand how important the product is going to be, right? To whoever it is that is, is looking for the message, right? The next movie I'm putting out there is called Same Hustle, Different Product, right? It's about the message, right? It's about us understanding that we chose the wrong OGs to idolize, right? Maybe if I would have had met you sooner in my life, I probably wouldn't have went to prison, right? Because of the different dialogues and breakdowns that we've had held in just regular general conversation, right? Because I like I always say, if you're not around somebody that's challenging you intellectually, you're around the wrong people, right? The Bible says it, right? As iron sharpens iron, let a man sharpen the counter sense of his friend, right? So I need to be around people that are strong so I can get some strength. I'm not always gonna be strong. And I might not always want to work out. You know what I'm saying? I might not always want to work out. So I gotta be able to get strength from somebody else. So that's my identity when it comes to these movies, man. It's about it's about climbing new heights.
That's a bar right there, setting the tone.
Setting the
So
tone, man.
I'm gonna ask a real question now. Hold up, let me get myself together and ask a real question. Since I
Uh,
have one right there. Um,
I'm about to go to college, right? And this is the craziest thing in the world, right? Trump is talking about destroying the Department of Education. It's going to take years for him to do it, and
where,
we get it. But that gives you the opportunity as a parent to homeschool your child if you have a certain level of education, right? I'm going to school for education, for physical therapy, and for for filming, right? Because I want to give the world a chance to see life through a different set of lenses, right? Yeah, yeah. Some people wear glasses and that's how they see, right? And then you got film and you got right. It's so many different lenses that give you a chance to see life from a different perspective, different identity, right? And that's for me. That's what it's about.
so you kind of read my mind in regards to cinematography, but I'll base it off of Harlem, right? I know
Yeah,
you're a Harlem dude. You understand what I'm
big.
saying?
I'm
You're a
the president of Harlem. I'm the president of Harlem.
Harlem,
I'm God.
Harlem Glow
I'm God's
president.
favorite, but I'm I'm the president. Like
So what does Harlem mean to you, and what is it something that the outsider misses in regards to the representation of Harlem for you?
um Harlem in totality, this is what Harlem means to me. And this is the craziest thing in the world is I just shared this with somebody yesterday, right? Harlem reminds me of us as a black people in this aspect. As a black people, we are the most embracing people in all cultures, right? No matter what, no matter what a white man has done to us, we'll still embrace him, right? We still embrace white people, right? We white people really don't allow black people to know their business, right? I know for a fact that there's white people out there be like, man, Trump is a piece of shit, but you won't hear them say it out loud, right? Whereas you actually hear black people say different things about Obama, right? About what I'm saying, Beyonce, about Jay-Z, about all these different people, right? And they don't mind saying it in front of other races, right? So now you look at how we embrace people and we just let them in, and then the conversation starts, and it's just like, oh, right. Then you look at how when you watch any black drug dealing film about a Harlem person, right? Az, he didn't know Alpo, right? He didn't. They never been into a situation and none of that, right? But he's from the east side of Harlem, he's from the west side of Harlem. Now You come to the West Side, you're able to get some money, then you start going other places, and you bringing people into Harlem or whatnot because we embrace people, right? We embrace people. Now you go further than that. Al Paul, Frank Lucas, right? Frank Lucas was from North Carolina. If you really read the storyline, right? But Bumpy Johnson, different people from Harlem, they embraced him, let him in. He was able to get his whole family to Harlem, right? And then boom, that's how the infiltration starts, right? Because just like with the Black Panthers, right? Huey P. Newton, all these different people, they cousins and family members was the ones that told on them, right? And this is how the infiltration started, right? Frank Lucas, same thing, his cousin told on him, right? So Harlem is just about us being, for me, it means to me that we are a culture of people that are embracing, right? We are the most fashionable people on the planet, right? We are the mecca of fashion, right? That's what it is, right? We are the mecca of fashion. Where did you get that from? Oh, you got that from Harlem, baby, right? You get next to an old school Harlem dude. He say Harlem and don't even put the R in it. He say Harlem. I'm from Harlem, baby. You know what I'm saying? Harlem's so big and monumental that even Malcolm X walked the streets of Harlem and they called him Detroit Red, right? Because they understood where he was from, right? So, like I said, it's about us. Harlem means to me that it's about us. It's about the unity, and it's certain areas of Harlem where there is no quote unquote, use these quotation marks, gentrification, right? Like you go to 7th Avenue, 8th Avenue, Lenox, you'll see white people down there, but you won't see them as much, right? Whereas when you hit Broadway, Riverside, Convent, the richer areas of Harlem, they are forcing black people out of those neighborhoods by raising the rent. Oh, you can't afford to be here, you don't deserve to be here. So, Harlem, that's what Harlem is is to me. It's about us, you know, just being so embracing, but we gotta learn to embrace each other a little bit more. And they got a spot in Harlem on 123rd and 7th Avenue called Sea to Soul, right? SEAC to Soul. It's a black owned seafood restaurant in Harlem, right? Black owned. So, right, like that's what it's about, right? It's about us taking our neighborhoods back. Um,
Bar right there. And that was the
yo,
function. One of the number one functions of Bumpy Johnson right there was, to keep the enemy out the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like him and under that leadership of Madison, Sinclair, Harlem's queen, he was Harlem's king. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So those factions right there in regards to that. So they took everything that was happening in Harlem and turned it into something for the world. You know what I'm saying? So whether it was numbers or it was bootlegging, you understand what I'm saying? That relationship that was happening between one and another. You know what I mean? So shout out to my brother Oba who always talk about Vice and how Vice plays a vital role in community development. So the underworld take care of the overworld.
Um,
I told the
when
people they
you,
can ask questions too. Look, we ain't playing just part
oh
two.
yeah,
You
yeah,
understand
yeah.
what I'm
If
saying?
you
Like, yeah, let's
if
stop
you hear
playing.
if you hear if you
You hear,
hear and you
listen,
watching
you can
this,
type something.
if you watching this, man, you could type in the chat right there on YouTube. You could type in the chat. You could type a question. We can see the question. We'll answer the question, and we're both answering the question to make it fair.
Yeah.
This how you bridge the gap. This my older brother, right?
Yeah, we possibly both can answer the question. You know what I'm saying? Like a spade's hand. You got one in the possible. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Both can answer the question.
um. Here, here, so here's a question here's a question that I've been just thinking about asking you, right? And I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna ask that question next. When because you understand the vision, right? Because you understand the vision of a Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, um, Huey P. Newton, Bunchy Carter. Because you understand the vision, considering all that you do, right? Um, do you feel like it's important for not only you, but for the people that you are surrounded by and encountering on a day-to-day basis to continue to be like-minded in that way, right? If we doing it for the cause, then it makes sense, and if we doing it for because it doesn't.
That's an excellent question. Look, you swinging for the fences early already. You understand what I'm saying? We here like, yeah.
Uh,
One of the lessons I learned from one of my elders who is now an ancestor who is on this platform right here, Sekou Dinga. When I met him and we spoke for hours. And one of the things I learned from him was patience and having a deeper connection with God. I didn't know that he was sick. I didn't know that he was going to transition. I know that he was young, and when he was young, he put it in. The Tyler Shakur in Cuba because of him. You see what I'm saying? Uh, so he did a lot of things for our people, and because of that, he missed a lot of time with his own children. So I learned that all of the time with your children and your family is priceless and is valuable. So for all of the things we want to expose them to and have them apart, my mother had us in movements, had us in meetings, had us in lectures, had us in all of those things. And a lot of those things we got through osmosis. So it made us better and more intelligent children. But we really just wanted our mother. You understand what I'm saying? Like when
mhm.
Tupac talked about, Afeni, peace and blessings be upon them both, walking away from the movement and choosing her family, that was him saying like that was the greatest thing that she ever did in his mind. You understand what I'm saying? Because he saw the effects that wore on her in regards to the world. So you could be everything to the world and nothing to yourself, and then in exchange nothing for your family. So if you out here getting the bag or getting to the bag and all those other things, you are sacrificing your family for those things. And one of those things that I learned from Sekou is, you know, in essence, in his mind, he rationalized it by it was worth it. But a thing that I learned from his eyes, a thing that I learned from his sternness, but then also his gentleness and his smile is that if he could do it all over again, he would have just chose his family. So he utilized the last couple of years of his life to reconnect and build that bridge with his family. You see what I'm saying? So, one of the downfalls of Martin Luther King, one of the downfalls of a Malcolm X, I could say from a critical space is for the liberation of our people, that sacrifice was great, but a greater sacrifice is they were not around to raise their children. They left their children in their enemies' hands. You see what I'm saying? So they came after Dr. Betty Shabazz. They tried to deem her unfit. Coretta Scott King tried to deem her unfit and sought to break up their families because that man was gone. And that became a blueprint in regards to how they were coming after families and targeting mothers and single mothers. And Dr. Betty Shabazz worked exclusively with black mothers and their families against the governmental agencies that were looking to infiltrate the homes, because you talked about infiltration earlier. So one of those key lessons that I learned from him from mouth to ear was he wished that he had more time with his family. You know what I'm saying? So God consciousness tell you to make the best of every moment that you have with your family. Make those memories happen. Make the best of those moments that you have because you don't know how many you have.
It's crazy, right, that you say that because I think Keenan Ivy Waynes was just on Club Shay Shay, and he said the greatest thing that his father did for his children was he came home every night. He said even when he didn't have nothing, right? Even when he didn't have nothing for his wife and kids, they couldn't eat. He came home every night, right? Um, So, you know, generally that's like it's stuff like that we tend to take for granted. Right? Time and people is two things you never get back. Right? Like so, you know, you got to be able to take advantage of both the time and the people that you have in your life. You have to learn to value the people that you have in your life, right? But before you can learn to value them, you got to see the value in them, right? Because if the only thing I'm looking for is something negative to say about you, or what you don't have, or what I don't see in you, then I won't value you. But when I start to look at the different things that you do have and the different things that you do bring to the table, then I'm able to value you for those things.
That's a bar right there. You know, one side or the other side of the zero. Either way it goes. If you on the opposite side of that zero, you in the negative. You on the other side of that zero, you in the positive. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, even with that, what you value and what you accept for value. So if you take someone else's negative connotations or depictions of you and you internalize them, you just assign them a value, even though it's taken away from you. Parasitically is something that you connected to. So let me take a little moment. We're gonna come right back, and I'm gonna ask my question. I'll be like, yo, he ain't answer. Yo, he put his hand. But you know, I felt stay cool in my spirit, man. So I want to play this joint for him real quick, and we're gonna come back. So hopefully by then y'all hear this music, y'all be jamming in it, jog your mind to ask a question. You know what I'm saying? Because Staxx taking all questions. I'm about
to surprise you. I'm about to surprise you too, because somebody that you asked for said that they should be ready.
All right, let's go.
M1 in the building. Freedom ain't free. Pay the cost. Look. You gotta be like him, or be like her. The revolution gonna reoccur. We say cool, be Jalil. Who really wanna get free for real? Be a soldier, be a rebel. Who wanna take it to another level? Be a G, be a late. If you want some liberation, better start today. Don't be like Mike, we gotta be like Fred Hampton. That's right, that's what I said. We gotta be the Honda, be your Sada. Baby in the right with black power, mama. Don't be no snitch and don't be no pig. The comrades come and get you, spit your wig. Let's be yourself, that's enough. What you really wanna be when you grow up? Everybody wanna be a star today. So much going on in the galaxy. Jimmy said he wanna be a rapper, but have you ever thought of being an adapter? 10 years from now, will you be able to change? Will you love the game and will you think the same? Will you think I ain't fucking with no capitalism? You don't pay your taxes and you throw you in prison? What you really know about sacrifice? Giving your life, paying the price. The price of freedom is death sometimes. Better that than dumb, deaf and blind. Make a weak heart lose breath and mind. UEP Newton came just in time. So I'ma be like him, I'm getting it in until they open the pen, because we destined to win. Hasta Victoria siempre. I am Fidel, I am Jay, I am Tucson, I'm Cinque. Us, revolutionary sensei. See, I work for the people, the streets is my office. So Uncle Sam, keep your damn hands up off us. It's about to be a riot from the worker to the bosses. Obama gon' just double cross us. Fuck him, you gotta be like him, or be like her. The revolution gonna reoccur. We say cool, be Jalil. Who really wanna get free for real? Be a soldier, be a rebel. Who wanna take it to another level? Be a G, be a late. If you want some liberation, better start today.
Be free, like a breeze in the ocean. Be free to be who and where you wanna be. Yeah, I wanna be free like Frida. Yes, I said Frida. See so much freedom every time I see her. She painted pictures, she saw herself. She painted the revolution that she saw herself. And that's real, change that's real. When you think of revolution, how does it feel? Would you risk your life or kill? Or sit in the cell like Sekou and Jalil? Brought it back for the cause. I did it all for the cause. Stay in tune with the sun and the moon. Got so much love for Russell Maroon. That's Schwartz, he's the boss. 39 years behind them walls. 22 years without no calls. Banging on the system till they free them all. Tu Lolita Lebron, viva la revolución. Siempre en mi corazón. It's cause of you I fight on. You got to be like you, don't be like them. Don't be no phony, don't be my friend. Just be right there when I need you. Oscar, we fight till they free you.
You gotta be like him, or be like her. The revolution gonna reoccur. Be say cool, be Jalil. Who really wanna get free for real? Be a soldier, be a rebel. Who wanna take it to another level? Be a G, be a late. If you want some liberation, better start today.
But if you're looking for a hero, don't look any further. Kill the revolutionary, but you still can't murder. The revolution is absolution, because the revolution has come for our daughters and sons. Free Sekou from in jail, or we gon' give them hell.
Gotta be like him, or be like her. The revolution gonna reoccur. Be say cool, be Jalil. Who really wanna get free for real? Be a soldier, be a rebel. Who wanna take it to another level? Be a G, be a late. If you want some liberation, better start today.
Yeah, that was dope.
We played it for him. We played it for him. And if you seen the light in his eyes and in his face, you know what I'm saying? And we kind of went over that. Like, imagine you meet with a lady and she working on your defense, working on your release, and she become your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, his wife got him out of prison.
That's
So
fire.
that was one of those political actions where, you know, their prayers and, you know, Divine RBG and so many other people that was there in regards to that was instrumental in doing fundraisers and, you know, rallying and doing all of these other things, you know, to help him get him home. But ultimately, his wife was responsible for getting her husband home. You know what I'm saying? So they mentioned Sekou, rest in peace to him, but they also mentioned Jalil Mutakun, who's home also. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you saw a picture of Mumia Abu Jamal, Free Mall. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like these are all things that could be infused in regards to raising the consciousness in regards to none of us are free if we all aren't free. You understand what I'm saying? So that kind of thing, but that kind of work takes it away from your family. So that mindfulness of including situations where your family could be out in the front. You see those young children that was out there, you know, the whole video thing, it looked like they was running from dude and then they come around the corner and it's like, nah, we trying to bring y'all in. We ain't trying to run you off. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's a beautiful thing. So for you, writing, directing, acting, putting all these things together, what were some of your most difficult shots or difficult things to kind of capture making these three films?
The most difficult thing a lot of times has more to do with not the filming, just the ideas that people want to add to what's going on, but they have no they don't have no finances to go with these ideas, right? Like, I'm all for an idea that works, but then if you just a horny person and you like, yeah, let's do a sex scene. Let's do a sex scene, right? I'm like, okay, let's do a sex scene. You got a girl willing to do a sex scene with you? Because you looking at these young ladies that's around us and automatically assuming that they want to be in the sex scene. That's not what I promote, right? Or let's do a sex scene and you got somebody that's with it, and then you're like, all right, we gotta get a hotel room. I won't pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come up with these ideas that's outside of the budget. right? That's not a part of the plan. So I think that people have these ideas that work for them in their mind, and generally because it works for them, they forget about the other tangibles that it takes to make it happen. And that's what I'm saying. That's for anything. Like you could start a shirt line and come up with this idea. You get the logo going or whatnot. Right? You got to think about the heat press machine. You got to think about the shirts, right? Because you can't press up shirts without having shirts, right? Like it's just, like just people. I think people just have realistic, far-fetched thoughts because of the finances that they don't have. And if it one thing I learned overall, filming or not, you never know how many problems people have until they think you got some money, right? This is the reason why. Soon as you get rich, if your dad ain't been there your whole life, all of a sudden, hey, yeah, that's my son, right? Hey, man, he going to the NBA. Hey, man, that's my son, right? I gave him a basketball when he was a baby. Soon as he was in the hospital, you ain't seen him since. Right? From the hospital bed till you've been dead all his life, right? Or you hit the lottery. Now every person in the world on Facebook is your cousin. Hey, cousin. Hey, cousin. What's up, cousin? Right? And it's like, where were you? Right? In real life, and I'm super family oriented. Like I love my brother and my sisters. Right? My father got mad kids, but I don't really claim his kid. I don't claim him. You feel me? But as far as like my mother's kids, my immediate people that I was born and raised with, whether we speak or don't speak, I love all of them. Right? That special guest said, give her a few minutes, man. She about to tap in. You know what I'm saying? But overall, generally, like I love and another side to it for me is also that I love God's people, right? So because I love the creator, I love his creation, right? You may do things that go against my morals and principles, my standard, my beliefs or whatever. It's not gonna make me hate you. It's gonna make me distance myself from you, right? Because I reward loyalty with loyalty and disloyalty with distance. But I also will let you know what my standard is. And if you can't stand firm on what I believe in or understand my standard, then you don't have no place to be around me because I'm not going to compromise. So with filming, that's something that I really learned and take generally, right? My biggest problems is always going to be um is always going to be when people come up with these ideas that they think I'm gonna pay for just because it's my project, and I'm more than willing to share with everybody. Like, yo, this is ours, right? I might be the one directing, paying, and writing, and all this stuff, but this is ours. Like, you know what I'm saying? But with it being ours, I'm paying for this part. You pay for them silly ideas that you got. You wanna do a sex scene? Bring one of them little ratchet girls that you like that's with it, and y'all can pay for the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all can do all that or not. But that's just me personally. I'm not into trying to keep up with the Joneses. I know that sex sells, and I might get some views and put some ass shake. I'm not. I'm you know what I'm saying. I understand that, but that's not the message that I want to be in. So I don't provide that. If you're looking for that, you got to go somewhere else.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got God's other favorite in the building. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I love this. Okay? I love this. All right? We got God's other favorite. We got God's favorite on the screen, and we got God's favorite on the move. You understand what I'm saying? So put your hands together and show your love for this surprise. She surprised me just now with this. I was not expecting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God's
Yeah.
songstress in the building, okay? Miss Tanifia is here.
Hello. Hello.
You know what I'm saying?
What's up, everyone?
What's goody? How you?
My bad.
Tanithia.
I'm out. I'm at work. I gotta finish my pickups. So I was like, let me tune in. I got
You
all my
trying to get the
pickups to do.
residuals. You trying to get the residuals. We know what you're doing.
Got all of the credits. You know what I'm saying? All the credit.
What's up, everyone?
Knowledge been asking about you, man. Hey, what's up with Sniffy, man? When she gonna come through, man? Like, I'm like,
I thought
you
she ain't
gotta
love
catch
me
her,
no more.
man.
You know what I'm saying? I was on some baby boy shit. Like, get me out of here. She don't love me no more. Get me out of here.
Nah, I mean, like whenever you got like last week, I was he hit me up to do it, but I was in a restaurant. They were playing music. I was eating. I was like, it's a bad time. So I
Right.
was like, all right, I got you this week. So I'm here. I'm here.
All good.
she
You got a
got
question for Stacks or you got a question for me? I think you got questions for you.
she
Say
got a
it
scarf on like left eye. She ready to go.
again. Yeah.
That.
Um. But yeah,
What you been up to?
I'll.
What's good life been like for you? You know, on the microphone. What's good? Tell us some good news.
I
Tell us you
mean,
got something fire coming up.
what I've been doing, I've just been like doing a lot of writing and recording. So like I was at the studio yesterday, I was at the studio last week recording a bunch of stuff. But it's mainly for writing purposes to kind of like pitch songs to artists that need songs or whatever. And if some of them fall off, then I'll just take it myself. But and that's my main goal right now to write for artists. And that's what I'm doing. Like I got a bunch of songs I've written and recorded already that I've got in the catalog, a submission catalog that I want to submit industry wise and all that. So that's what I've been doing.
That's a bar right there.
Yeah,
One of the
Bar.
yeah.
one of the dopest things about that is that there's so many artists that actually are talented that can actually use a writer, right? Mario, Amarion, it's like so many of these dudes. Joe, right? That's an old school guy, Joe, right?
Right,
Great voice, whatever. But these dudes have the talent and they don't have the other talent, so they need, people like you in their life.
right, yeah. Right. So that's
And
pretty much what I've been doing, just recording, writing and recording. And in
and it
between
only
doing
take
my own
and it only take
huh?
one hit to make a crackhead relapse. So you good.
Yeah, you got a
Word.
point. Shit. I just need that one. I need that one.
It take one hit to make a fiend relapse, man. They ain't going back to rehab after this one.
So how do you kind of separate yourself, Cynthia, from what you creating for other people versus what you create from yourself, and what kind of muse does it take for you to write for others versus writing for yourself?
um I wouldn't say that I like separate what I write for myself and what I write for others because like we all go through the same thing, right? So I write everything from my life experiences and even through other people, say life experiences. I'll just write it because we all go through the same things. And I feel that whatever song I write, I might listen to it later and be like, okay, this song fits this particular person. This song fits this particular person. But I write for myself and others just as if I was just writing for me, but it's just all about who it may fit later on. Like, okay, well, this might fit this person or this, but we all go through the same thing. So it's like, all right, somebody going, fit in this little slot and take this song, even if they've never been through it, like music, and the contents or whatever of life. It's the same. It's all related. So we all go through the same relationship stuff, family stuff. So it's relatable. So I don't really separate myself from others when I write.
Super bomb.
One, one of the dopest things in the world is that uh, Knowledge been hanging out with Jay Mills a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Via Do the Knowledge Radio or whatnot. And he's actually a songwriter that's industry ready. So, maybe
Oh, okay.
maybe that maybe he'll be able to, help you get into the right direction or, get something that you putting together into the right
Okay.
hands.
Okay. That's fun though. That's cool. That'd be real dope. That'd be real dope.
Mr.
Is that your
MH.
baby,
Let's
Stacks?
take it. Yeah, she in
That's
here
your
wilding,
baby?
man.
You mean that
Yeah,
thugging?
She
she
having
Thugging?
a
in here
good
wilding, man.
time.
That's
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
having
she
a
in
good
here wilding,
time.
man.
So, Cynthia, are there any cover songs you want to do that you had your eye on?
The next one I want to do, 'cause I just did the residuals. I want to do the Mutt song with that's the name. You know, I'm a dog. I want to do that. I want to do my own version of that. I think that'd be dope.
So you getting some residuals from the residuals? What's people saying about the residuals?
Oh, a lot of people like it. A lot of people love it. And I was like, when I did it, I literally, it's based off of course, me, someone I met that kind of made me feel that way. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? You write the song. I was feeling a certain way. I literally woke up in the morning and was like, let me record something. And it literally came to me in like literally 10 minutes after I finished writing the song. The little song. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go record it officially. Everybody loved it. So it was literally off a life experience.
You gonna give us? You gonna give us a little piece of that?
Someone. I wrote it for. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta load this up real quick. I gotta load this up.
In between time, y'all heard her get busy on this joint real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. Get the credit popping on. If you can get.
Yeah, you can load up. He about to do you song.
Hold on.
Yeah, since you called out Jay Mills, let me do this Jay Mills drink real quick. This is my mantra for 2025. My sister K Fighter, third Black Talk in the building. Salute to the Warrior Queen. She'll be on tonight with King Simon. You should go check that out.
People be acting like you're gonna get a chance to come back and do it again. I know better. Tunnel vision. I'm just focused on my focus. About no games with my approaches. Got that dope hit go a dosage. Keeping this money flowing, what my goal is. Cause nobody want that trophy for the brokest. So I'm focused on my focus. I'm just focused on my focus. About no games with my approaches. Got that dope hit go a dosage. Keeping this money flowing, what my goal is. Cause nobody want that trophy for the brokest. So I'm focused on my focus. I'm focused more than ever, cause nowadays niggas make it more than ever, and one flight could change the weather. Black and salmon, broccoli cheddar, got the diamond JM on my potent sweater, rock my own shit, like I'm on my own dick. I ain't from Queens, but I be on that pretty tone shit. Silk shirt, chest out, I'm on that grown shit. Stunting on my exes, never leave wifey at home shit. Look, your whole style is rented, nigga, I own this. My whole style is fly like I'm on some drone shit. Penthouse suite starting to feel like home shit. Top of New York on some Noriega and Capone shit. I was on my A game since AI was playing. Look, I was showing love when I knew they was hating. I was still on the field when my body was aching. Balling like Troy Aikman. My calling is force greatness on all bases. So I'm just focused on my focus. I'm just focused on my focus. About no games with my approaches. Got that dope hit go a dosage. Keeping this money flowing, what my goal is. Cause nobody want that trophy for the brokest. So I'm focused on my focus. I'm just focused on my focus. About no games with my approaches. Got that dope hit go a dosage. Keeping this money flowing, what my goal is. Cause nobody want that trophy for the brokest. So I'm focused on my focus. On my focus.
Spotlight, 4th of July, we outside. We up tonight, I'm feeling nice. There's no limit, it's whatever you like. And if it ain't here, I need that energy, you know the vibe. We on another level, we're breaking all the damn rules. You wanna be down, you gotta stick around. And I'ma hate talking, that shit I like. You and your crew contemplating on what to do. VIP's got a lot of room. The more the merrier, later it's me and you. So shorty, tell your friends to get with my friends. We're sipping, we're chilling, we're living shit. We could do this every weekend. Every day is a celebration, no special occasion. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight. This is your destination. Whenever sparks fly, of July. That's where you find us. We outside. Life of the party. We lit the party. We in. We up tonight. And I'm feeling nice. There's no limit. It's whatever you like. And if it ain't here, bartender provide. I need that energy. You know the vibe. We on another level. We're breaking all the damn rules. If you wanna be down, you gotta stick around. And I'ma hate talking that shit I like.
Drinks up in the hand, that's in my pocket. Blink, party real hard. Listen, money, hun, it's not a thing. All these others jocking me, rub me up something properly. Niggas said he hating, but fuck it, I'm what they tryna be. Ice cold, wrist fresh, dressed with a proper link. Pinky ring, brightest alone, that mean a rocky piece. On my grind, hard pockets heavyweight like a boxer beat. They calling me Twitter, look at how these bitches follow me. And my jewelry, yeah, it's kinda freeze. Oops, I mean, it's kinda froze. Shit, I got all kind of hoes. Bankroll got a lot of O's. Dollars let the vodka flow. By the night, I'm trying to get you up out them designer clothes. Me and gang in the spot, and I got way too much money for me to play with a thought. Couple shots at the Henny, she let me play in the twat. Knew I touched down in the Billy, she let me J in the drop.
Twerk it, baby, show me what you really got. The way you out there working your body, you got the spot hot, too hot. Niggas is ready to throw a few knots. Don't stop, baby, I'm about to be on my 10th shot. Now I'm about to get it lit up in here. Throw a couple dollars, I can feel these niggas hating in here. But I'ma keep flexing like I hit the fucking lotto. Tell that bitch shut up and come here suck the bottle.
We on another level, we're breaking all the damn rules. You wanna be down and I'm feeling nice. Down, it's whatever you like. If you wanna be down, you gotta stick around. And I'ma hate talking that shit I like. Down, you and your crew. Down with my friends. We up tonight. I'm feeling nice. There's no limit. It's whatever you like. And if it ain't here, bartender provide. I need that energy. You know the vibe. We on another level. We're breaking all the damn rules. You wanna be down, you gotta stick around. And I'ma hate talking that shit I like. Every day is a celebration, no special occasion. You could have been down anywhere in the world tonight. This is your destination. Whenever sparks fly, like the 4th of July. That's where you find us. We outside. Life of the party, we lit the party.
So the fam came through showing love. They loving it. You know what I'm saying? They called Miss Tanifia soulful, right? You know what I'm saying? They was focused on their focus and they got all soulful. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, we up tonight, like the 4th of July. You understand?
Right.
Yeah. That's dope. Dope.
I'll be back to the screen in a second. Thank you. Have a good one. All right.
J Will.
Bottles, man. Seen you in the drink bottles, man. That was a real bottle?
Hell yeah. What you mean?
You got it in your club from overseas?
That was some shit. You know what I'm into the father thing. Like, man, that was some champagne, man. Stop talking like that, man. Champagne for the celebration, man. Champagne for the celebration, B.
Yeah, so the people saying that you're soulful over here, Mr. Nifia, okay? Said you soulful.
Say it again.
They're saying that you soulful. The vibes was ill. You know what I'm saying? They up tonight like it's the 4th of July.
Appreciate it.
What I'm saying? They ready. They ready. So how fun was that video? Making that video, you and God's favorite over here. You know what I'm saying? Collaborating. Get
It was fun. It's always fun doing a video with Staxx. It's always interesting. It's fun. Now it was a cool vibe. I liked it. The venue, the spot was nice and everything. Like the whole setup was pretty cool. The idea was cool too. So yeah, the idea for it. So that's pretty cool.
And one of the craziest things in the world is that I think either the year before that or that same year when we did the video, I actually threw my birthday party in that spot as well. And Tanifia was somewhere else, and she called me and she was like, "Yo, y'all still partying?" And she pulled right up, and we gave her this. We should have gave her the mic that night, But we gave her like the center table, like spotlight on her. I'm like, yeah, it's my birthday, but she in the
Spotlight
middle.
on
Like,
me.
Yeah,
It
nobody
wasn't
care
no
about your
damn
birthday.
spotlight on me.
Yeah, nobody care about your birthday.
Spotlight.
Look, Tanifia blessed me. She came on this channel on my God Day. You understand what I'm saying? And sung me the greatest Happy God Day celebration. You understand? That's a gift I never forget. You understand what I'm saying? That's love right there. That's love.
yeah, she ready to sing now. We gotta get out of her way, man. We talking too much.
Well, my bad. All eyes on shoe.
You know, sometimes like when you get booed, they throw the tomatoes at you. She throwing them back at us. Nigga, shut up. I got some shit to say, man. She ready.
I'm gonna sing.
Wow.
I'm gonna sing something else besides the Chris Brown thingy, because I got a short amount of time. Because they be watching us, and I ain't got time. I'm not on break or anything like that to be sitting here. I got like 10 more pickups, but I'll do something, of
Don't mind
course.
their
You know what I'm
business.
saying? That's cool. I
All right,
wish I
let's go.
could.
Let's go.
All right. All right. If it takes my whole life, I'll make it up to you. 'Cause I've been so cruel. You're giving your love to me in spite of everything. I I don't deserve you. From this day forward, I'm truly yours. It took me a while to see that we were meant for one another. Thank you for loving me. And baby, it breaks my heart to think that love me is not easy to do. All right. I'm sorry I had to cut it so short.
Nah,
I
you
couldn't even
good.
get y'all the
That
full
was
blows
fire.
and all of that, but
Look.
next
Yeah,
time I got
yeah,
y'all.
Live
that
from the
was super
truck. You
fire, man.
understand? Live from the truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we about to start calling you.
Live
Live from
from
the
the
truck.
truck.
This is the
It's like
second
the
time we
third week,
got
the
you like
third one
this.
on the second time. Okay, you're right. The first time I think I was like
Oh.
headed back to the building. This time I'm actually doing pickups. I'm like, shit.
We thank you for popping on with us. Tell the people where they can find you, how they can
Thank you for
support
having
your
me.
music.
You can find my music on iTunes, Spotify at Tanifia, my name, Instagram, Facebook, my name Tanifia. Every streaming service, my name Tanifia. You can find me in every social media platform.
Give us a final jewel before you go. I know you got to go. Give us a final jewel. I know you got something.
Um. Damn. Shoot, I can't think of that. You're the only one
Where,
I love. The only one I know that I can trust and if I ever should need you, I know you'll come. Ready to kill with a smoking gun, with a smoking gun, with a smoking gun, with a smoking gun. I know you'll run, ready to kill with a smoking gun. All
Bars.
he he
Ladies and
wanted
gentlemen.
he wanted you to say something. You sung. That's good. We all right, man.
We good. You understand what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only,
right. That's a
God's
jewelry.
melody. God's melody.
That's a jewel.
Tanifia. You
Now
understand?
we
But
appreciate you. I want to ask you a question before you go though, man. Where do you get your inspiration from when you like in the mood? Like where do you get your inspiration from?
When I'm in the mood to like write
Yeah.
or like I said, my inspiration has come from my life for the most part. It comes from whatever I'm going through, whatever I'm feeling, or whatever I've been through. Even if like I've been through, I went through something today. If I can't process it today, eventually I'll process it and I'm able to write about it later. So it comes from me, majority of the time, 90%. I know, like in one of my songs on the last album I did, a couple songs were inspired by my brother because he was going through some shit. So I wrote based off his life and a couple of those songs.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
fire.
yeah. So Like
That's
real life
fire.
shit.
Real life shit.
Real
Have
life
you
shit.
back on. You know what I'm saying? In the words of
Yeah, I got y'all. Next
Greg
time,
Friday, come
hopefully won't
back.
be at work.
Hey, come back. You know what I'm saying?
I'll come back. Thank you for having me, though. I appreciate you
her
But
guys.
next her next album is gonna be called All Work and No Play, because every time we catch her, it's all work and
Oh,
no
that's
play, man.
it's all work, all business. Like you said, I gotta get them residuals. All right, all
I
right,
see.
y'all. Have a good one.
You as well. It's
I
so
believe you
dope
got the
that
next question. You know what I'm saying? I believe you got the next question.
now you got the next question. You played the video. You
Nah,
trying to be slick.
hey, let me tell
Yo.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I know, not what I heard. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You was answering the question, and then God's favorite came on. You understand what I'm saying? And she came on, and she did her 1-2. So it's on you. I mean,
All right, it's
no,
on me.
that ain't what I heard.
um, yo, so here's a question, man. You've developed like massive relationships throughout the years, right?
Mhm.
Um, how important is it for you to maintain effective relationships with these different personalities that keep you uh solid and strengthened in certain ways?
I think that's the utmost importance because relationships override views, they override notoriety, all of these other things. Relationships keeping them solid. I was just talking to one of my partners earlier, and I said he's getting into government contracting. I said, you got land. After land, there's people. You got land. I said, you deal with something on this land, and then we can start pulling people from their vocations and start putting them in a position to win for their legacy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you getting into the government contracting. Oh, he gave a couple of examples. I'm like, all right. So he like trucking. I'm like, because my homie's like, yo, I'm about to go get my CDL, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, my man, you ain't even getting in the car right now. You understand what I'm saying? You trying to talk about getting in the truck, your back already bad now. The truck gonna make it worse. You understand what I'm saying? Like that. I'm like, I gave him a concept of a military operation. Because when you in third party logistics, your number one goal is to solve problems. If you in PR, if you in management, all of those things, you looking to solve problems. If you in business for yourself, you looking to solve problems. What problem are you looking to solve? And you have to have an answer for that. You see what I'm saying? The answer is in your product or your service. And then they're going to ask you what makes your product or service unique to these other ones. Now you got to talk about a customizable experience that's duplicatable. So all of these things are relationship based. So the reason why they're doing ads and all these other things to evoke emotions because they want to connect with you on a personal level. Again, they're creating these things with you in mind, right? So goal attainment, you create with the end in mind. So the end of that goal attainment is where your sight or your vision leads you to. And you deal with that and then you start to begin to work backwards. So my relationship with people, my relationship with you, my relationship, all these things are very important because they are vital importance to do things when it ain't the money, when it ain't the notoriety, when it ain't all these other things. It's really the bond. It's really the connection. And when the money is there, I'm sliding the money to you or the opportunity for you to get some money. You see what I'm saying? So keeping those relationships solid, there are not people calling you every day like, yo, I got some people for your movie. Yo, I got some funding for this particular part of your project. You understand what I'm saying? So if I hear about it or if I hear about opportunities for you to plus up, you top of the mind because we have a relationship. One thing Ice Cube said, like I've been very critical of Ice Cube over the years, and I said I wasn't going to say nothing negative about Ice Cube ever again Because one thing that I heard from a couple other people, and then when I heard it from his mouth, is he never charged for a feature. 30 something years in the game, you never charge nobody for a feature. I don't have nothing negative to say about you. You understand what I'm saying? I might have been critical because I don't like certain things in regards to some of the rhymes or whatever, but I could never, say something crazy about a man who worked with the best artists in the world to the newest artists in the world, and they never charged them no money for no feature. It's relationship. And the other side of the coin to that was Snoop. As Snoop said, it depend on the relationship. So all of the relationships matter. The relationship that you have that is solid, that becomes your go-to. You see what I'm saying? So, there's people that I met 100 years ago versus people I met 1 year ago, and we have better relationships than the ones that go from back in the day. But I still got good relationships I could go back 40 years with versus somebody I could go back 4 minutes with. And I treat them the
Right.
same and I nurture them in the same sort of fashion. So relationships are very critical, especially in a space where things are estranged in regards to what you could actually do for people. But as long as you putting yourself in a position to win, you can put others in a position to win. And hopefully that's reciprocal enough for them. When they think about something, they think about you based off of what you do and what you provide.
Now that's fire. Now you know what's crazy? As soon as you said Ice Cube name, uh, he got this one bar that I always laugh at. He said face like Beyonce. He said face like Andre, body like Beyonce. Ew. He said,
Man. Salute.
yo,
Yeah,
my man said, he said, face like Andre, body like Beyonce. Ooh. He said,
So
oh
since I hear your
man.
daughter in the background, I'm gonna ask you this question: how do you think nostalgia changes the way you move, create, and lead?
Yo, this is a weird question. Right? This is a weird question because I have a son that's 20 years old that's not biologically mine. And I raised him since he was 4 months old up until like 20 2015, 2016. His mom had died or whatnot. And then his real father's family, like, just kept me away from him or whatnot. So what I could say is, um, in this moment, in this time, is like the things that I didn't know while raising him, I made it practical while raising her, right? Um, and then it's just going back into the conversation about time and having the time, making the time, right? There's certain things that's not that important to me, um, in certain ways. Whereas I will always make time for my daughter, right? I will always make time for my daughter. I will not make up excuses in regard to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always gonna make it my best to be there in every way, shape, or form. I remember when I was younger and I was in the life of crime, as they would say, right? I was they called me a criminal. I'm like, nah, I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal because I'm a criminal in this moment. So I'm a criminal, right? Not a criminal. But at one point in my life, I would catch a ticket for, let's say, peeing in the street or spitting or whatever the case might be, and I would be like, who cares? Like, if I show up, I show up. If I don't show up, I don't show up. And then eventually, that turns into me being in a place where I caught a ticket for peeing in public. The cops ran down on me like I was a real criminal, really did a crime or something like that, and they gave me a $75 ticket. And I knew exactly when I was supposed to go to court. I knew everything, right? I did not go. I did not go. But then the longer that I thought about it, or whatnot, I said, let me show up to court. So yesterday, my daughter's mom stayed home, And I was like, I'm gonna go today. And I went and I was like, hey man, I thought that I was supposed to be here on the 12th and not not the 2nd. I knew when I was supposed to be there, but I showed up because my reality is that me being in jail, me being in the bookings for overnight means that I'm gonna miss time with being away from her when I'm supposed to be there, right? So I have to be responsible for how I treat my money, how I, you know what I'm saying, treat, you know, the small things as well as the major things, because you know what I'm saying, even when my daughter saved so many people from simply getting punched in their face. Right? Because it's like you really gotta thank her, because I really, really want to take it there. But my identity is I really want to make it to her every day and as often as possible. So I'm gonna let you slide. You may not understand it now, but she really, really saved you. So I think it's a certain level of value. You know what I'm saying? What I value has changed more so as a father, as opposed to when I didn't have a daughter, right? You know, certain things I would, oh yeah, let's get into it, right? And now it's like I don't even value this conversation, so I'm not going to entertain it. You win if it means that much to you. Like
The bars is flying today. Okay, the bars is
it's
flying.
it's
Had to duck the
it,
bars. You know what I'm saying? The bars
it,
is
it, it, it's like that. You know, when you know the things that you Muhammad Ali said, if you 50 years old still doing the same thing that you did when you was 30 years old, you let 20 years of your life pass you by, right? There's certain people that I won't speak to. There's two types of people that I really won't speak to for a long period of time, right? A man that won't take care of his kid. We don't have. Well, just a parent, period, right? Because I ain't gonna make it seem like I'm gonna sit there and hold a conversation for or keep a woman around me as a friend or whatever. If I know for a fact that she actually has a kid that she carried for 9 months and she's not doing anything to be in her child's life, right? Nah, you know that I'm not compromising you if you have a kid and you're not in your kid's life and you're not fighting to be in your kid's life, then we have no place in each other's life. You're not my friend. We're not cool. We're not associates. You're not gonna even tie me into that kind of nonsense. And then the second person is a person I just can't see myself growing with. So like my question to you, my last question to you, right? Your network, your network determines your net worth, right? Keeping people in your life that's you know valuable because of you know what they bring to the table that may not be financial, right? Um, but then at the same time, that also becomes a situation where um, if we can't go together, we can't go together. Where we really about to go? Right? I've been doing all right without you. I don't need you to keep me here. I'm on a no treadmill lifestyle. I don't need, you know what I'm saying? When I run, I want to go somewhere. I need people that's going places. You feel me? And then I understand that everybody's not meant to go where I'm going. So I know how to separate that too.
So what was the question? You got a question in there somewhere?
Yeah. My question to you is, right, when you're teaching your kids, right? I gave the example about Martin Malcolm, Sojourner
Mhm.
Truth, all these different leaders, right? Separating them from the entertainers, right? Um, because even when people speak about Jackie Robinson, right? Jackie Robinson may have been the first the first black person to be in the MLB, right? Different things of that nature, but he kicked the door in. right? But does that make him a revolutionary God that did something for the movement, right? Like, because he still was a white man's entertainment, right? So, my question to you is, how important is it for you being a person that has nieces, nephews, children, and other people's kids that look up to you to let them know the difference between what you do on Do the Knowledge Radio for leadership as opposed to entertainment? Because there's certain things that I tried to get you to do on here. You're like, I'm not, yo, Staxx, I'm not messing with that. I'm not, not even a little bit.
So brand loyalty is something that they teach you in the entrepreneurial world. You have the brand that you built, that you associated with, and you have your own personal brand. So there are things that I have been offered over the years that I will never bend for, because what you align with your brand, people associate you with. You know, on the last discussion that we had, I told you that I would never dishonor my family. My family watches this show. My son is watching right now. So the same way that I am with him is the same way I am on here. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, there are concessions that are made. You know, you're a father. There's some things you might let slide. You understand what I'm saying? And there's some things that you will enforce. These things are called standards. These things, are disciplining mechanisms for life. I coach youth basketball for 20 years. And whether someone's 5 or whether somebody's 55, they all going to try the same stuff on the basketball court. You understand what I'm saying? So you as a coach has to rein that in, and they have to understand that they are part of a team. They're a collective of individuals, but success is won when everybody understands their role and assignment, and they're doing what they're doing that's necessary. So a leader versus an entertainer. You have to have both. Dr. Khaled, peace and blessings be upon him, was a leader, but he also understood that the rhythm and spirit, like he said on the Donahue show, black people are rhythm and spirit. So I give him information and inspiration. You see what I'm saying? And he said that before the world. The downfall of a Jackie Robinson or any of the other Negro firsts that are there, they devalue where they came from. So the Negro League was flourishing. So once you take somebody out of there, now all of a sudden nobody's going to the Negro League games because they're going to see Jackie Robinson because he crossed the color line. You see what I'm saying? So now you just devalued everything that you built. So segregation, fighting against segregation destroyed all of those black businesses and all of those family legacies that was tied to it because they were looking to be accepted by the dominant culture and society. So desegregation and all of those mandates that were kind of infused by the Israelis that came amongst us as financiers. Their main chief goal was to divert the attention of that infrastructure, like we talked about last week, that last 100 years between 1920 and 2020 was the devolution and destabilization of black wealth in this country, black land ownership in this country, and all of those things that's associated with it. So when I sit down with my children and we begin to discuss, we discuss things critically. They know who entertainers are versus who leaders are. So you might even have some in the entertainment industry, for instance, that might be organizational heads, but there are very few leaders. So you might have somebody who's the best person on your team, but they might not necessarily be the leader for your team. They're just somebody that can inspire other people to play better or play worse. So you in that space has to have the echo and the sentiments in regards to what your leadership qualities and skills are on and off of the court or on and off of the sport or the field or whatever the place may lead to somebody in that space in regards to them doing what they need to do. After every season, in the last few practices of the game, I would pull my children to the side and tell them their strengths and their weaknesses as a player and how those correlate to life. Because I still had a responsibility to them to live their life. Every season they start off as individuals. They start off not wanting to be a part of a team, and I break that. And then next thing you know, you start listening to them correcting themselves because they still have to execute. And their parents were like, "What are you saying to them?" Because I could even get them to walk fast. You got them running everywhere. They're friends with each other, and they hang out with each other, and they're pushing each other to be great. Blah blah blah. You just create the environment and allow those things to work. So you have the principles and skills that come from sports that you learn on the court, but then if you don't learn how to apply those things to life, then you wasted time, right? So we got accountability partners, we got coaches, we got thought leaders, we got all these people, right, out here, and they're doing all of these functions. But these are the same people that tell you, "Oh, you wasted your time with sports." You see what I'm saying? Because they haven't learned how to build a bridge in between these transferable skills that they have and possess on one end and how they apply in life. So, in regards to looking at that for a leader or entertainer, talking to my children, I want to hear their definitions of both and who do they see themselves as, and how do they see the entertainer's role, and how do they see the leader's role, and are they a leader? Are they a follower? What's the qualifications of a follower? What's the qualifications from a leader? I don't impart them. I ask those questions. So I want them to critically think and analyze and hear their thoughts. And then now we can produce what's necessary together. One of the questions I asked my son, like, what's the best lesson you learned for today? All right, well, how will you, use that in life? You understand what I'm saying? So I want him
Yeah.
thinking of his day in that way. So if it's biggest lesson I learned for today is how to build a stronger work ethic. All right, so how's that gonna help you in life? You understand what I'm saying? So
Right,
now
right,
he
right.
has to think about that and go that way. So I'm building up those leadership traits and qualities that he learns to recognize that he needs to work on within himself. So now he can be better in the general world. So everywhere he goes as a leader. He doesn't go in a space in a situation where he's subservient. You understand what I'm saying? So that builds that confidence, that builds that trust, and that owns self-validation in regards to that. And he naturally funny, so he's gonna be an entertainer anywhere he go. You understand what I'm saying? So blending those two worlds together and him seeing that behavior from his own conduct and my own conduct. All of these things are disciplining traits for the most part in regards to how that goes.
No, that's fire. And it's dope that you said something that I used to say back on Boss Talk when I used to say we have to have an army like mentality, right? Everybody do something different. We can accomplish the one goal to win the war. There's too many people out here focused on the battle that the war is being won by somebody else, right? So you let go of instant gratification and you can win the war, right?
Mhm.
And that's like that's super dope for real.
That's what it is. I
What you
so look. You already know. Like, what's your final message to the people, man? Before we get out of here, since you said that was your final question, you understand what I'm saying? What's your final message for the people, man, who listen?
um my final message for the people is like it's similar as what I said last week, man. When you set the standards, you gotta live up to it first, right? Because when people see you compromise, they're gonna help you continue to be in that light, right? Knowledge Born just said that he's teaching his kids to evaluate their day, process what they did, and how can they apply it. Right? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Examine yourselves daily and repent." Right? So that means when you're examining yourself, you get the opportunity to turn from whatever is negative. right? If you didn't like it, you shouldn't be there, right? Um, they got a meme or something like that that says the only way for somebody to call you a clown is if you're playing in the circus, right? If you don't like it, you shouldn't be there. But in our day to day routines and playing fields and atmospheres, we compromise so much because we want to be supporters. We want to be, in this place. I was speaking to a young lady yesterday that said uh, she don't want no cheating man. So I asked, well, if you hanging out with a girl and she's cheating on her man or her husband, how does that work for you? Are you gonna keep hanging out with her? And she's like, yeah, that's my homegirl. Loyalty over royalty. And I'm like, you're not even loyal to yourself, right? That's an oxymoron, right? How is that? You're only gonna be justifying that that's your friend just to say it's okay for her to cheat because we cool, but it's not okay for you to cheat because you're cheating on me. It's like so, right? Like so, you really, really got to figure out, what your standard is, and you got to live up to that standard. And that's my real last thought. You feel me? Yeah, peace, God. I see you. Yeah, you put the scripture in there. Even though the scripture that I use is actually Proverbs 27:17. But overall, we got to break the identity crisis. And the way that you do that is, continue to live up to your standard, right? Set the standard, live up to it, make other people live up to it.
That's what it is. All right. We got to do
Now your last thoughts before we wrap it up, man. You ain't slick. I see what you're trying to do.
I ain't got no last thoughts. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't got no last thoughts. We ain't do one of those ethical questions. What would you do? Type of situations in a minute. So that joint had me messed up. I can't front. You understand what I'm saying? That joint had me messed up. He's like, so in this situation, blah blah blah. That's when you get real crafty. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, generally, I think that just because you brought that up, I think that people tend to forget that it's something called a moral dilemma, and that's what you're speaking on, right? So you have to actually, I'm pretty sure that you encounter these people all the time because I encounter them, right? I'm no different than you, and you're no different than me, right? But I'm pretty sure that you meet the people that always gotta. If that was me, I would have did this, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, like all these dudes in the world, these older dudes that set the rules. Yeah, hey, yo, don't be no snitch. Them older dudes was the ones snitching, right? But if it was me, right, and that's how I did. But if it was me, I would do this, right? I listen to people talk about what they would do in situations that they've never encountered, right? If it was me, I would have, the bullet would have been coming at me. I'd have did the Matrix, right? And the bullet would have hit the tree, and then I would have took my knife out and like, all right, okay, you watch too many movies, right? And you got to understand the difference between being in reality and virtual reality. But whenever you're ready to get back into the chronicle, you know what I'm saying, technical thinking, we could break some barriers. I'm always down for those kind of conversations, man. These moral dilemmas are something that we got to highlight.
So with that, this has been another 21 question series. Well, Harlem's own and God's favorite, Bossed Up Staxx. You understand what I'm saying? AKA Staxx. You know what I'm saying? And we up out of this, right?
Yeah, before I go, I just want to shout out all the viewers, not just the viewers for Do the Knowledge, right? Not just the viewers for Boss Talk, but the viewers in totality, because Do the Knowledge Radio has different other platforms that's under that umbrella. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate y'all for his 3,500 episodes that people actually get a chance to watch, right? The movies that I'm putting out there that people was watching, and then the support that also goes with it, right? The pantry that he provides, the books that he actually, have become an author of. Right, you guys support these things, and y'all really don't know how much that means to us as a family that's trying to, break the systematic thoughts, man. Like, and we support y'all by giving y'all the shout outs that we give y'all so that people know where to get the information or have the resource for whatever that may look like. Right. I'm telling you, if you're in the North Carolina area, you could hit knowledge up and you could hit the pinch for your kids can be fed, your kids can be taught, right? And this is what it's about, a person that's for the community. Right? If you in the Harlem area, ask for the president, man. They're gonna point you in the right direction. Feel me? They gonna point you in the right direction. I'm gonna take care of the people. For real, right? And then I make mention of people that I want to shout out because I want them to get the notoriety that they deserve for whatever it is that they're doing, right? So a little taste of tea, right? That's a cake business, right? Then you got T Gutter Gwilla. That's the music area, right? Staxx 821. That's me, but that's my there is no separation with me. So you go on my page, you might find a party you could come to if you're in the New York area. You might find a studio that you could come to, meet up with me. You could, it's just different areas of life that you could meet me in. So I just want to give y'all them shout outs because y'all actually show up and show out for us and don't realize how much that means to us.
With the vision gift, seeing the deliverance from the ignorance, cognitive dissonance. With your eye envision this. On and off the mic, I speak right like this is what the mission is. I know the wisdom biz and overstand like who know and bear that witnesses. I am the power refined, God man. Equity too high to equal the caveman. God's son, true builder of the land. Destroyer of the demons, I'm a poppin' where they stand. Word of biz, born exposing, oppose a plan. Deacon Vinny, microphone Jones with a force hand. The next level cipher writer, spark the minds, I light the fire. Call me Mr. Mystifier, I'm used to gift and lift us higher. With the frequency that frequently fit, inspire. Elders and young thugs that do what they do, where they do what they thumbs. They lazy, they think we dumb. We put the work in system that a system to be numb. Make them good Christians, but don't link them to where they from. So I write rhymes with them ancient guidelines. I fight crime sitting on the sidelines. But when they got the blind eyes, I just treat them like they dumb.
When knowledge get done, unified we're one. The race we run, before them shot them gun.
To the knowledge.
When knowledge get done, unified we won. The race we run, before they shot that gun and run.
To the knowledge.
Walk with me, twist your loud, get your double shots of yak. Sit down, have a talk with me. I'm from an era where certain shit just couldn't fly. You tell another man suck your dick, you might die. These new dudes got it confused, thinking it's a game. Until somebody hitting at they ass, bringing the pain. But that's the plan, they want us to kill ourselves. Our existence is up to us, no one else is responsible for raising our daughters and the queens and our sons and the kings. Teaching them everything about necessary tools we need to use for survival. It's way bigger than reading Qurans or the Bible. That's gonna go over the heads of many. Thick skin, homie, I got plenty, so I'll be ready for the backlash and slander coming from my own people. It's sad to say, but we'll never equal our full potential as long as we following what they teach us. Telling lies, all in 8 books, it never reach us. At least us, the ones with some knowledge of self. But trying to wake my people up is a struggle with self. Instead of begging for a seat at their table, let's build one. As soon as they try to violate, let's kill one. That's where my heart at. A couple 100 years of the same treatment gave us Obama, so we think we even. I ain't believing none of this bullshit, them puppeteers speaking, telling us lies each and every weekend. Banana in the tailpipe tactics. To tell the truth, I feel we moving backwards. We got a lot of actors playing the part, but it ain't in their heart, so what's it worth? Got brothers dressing up like chicks, toting the purse. Everybody capitalizing off us. We ain't too far from giving up our seat on the back of the bus.
When knowledge get done, unified Unified, we're one. The race we run, before they shot that gun. When knowledge gets done, unified, we won. The race we run, before they shot that gun. To the knowledge.
You cannot go without this book, and let me explain why. Voices of the Diaspora, written by Knowledge Born Allah, takes you through countless and countless different blacks. From our scholars, our warriors, our great sisters, and even entrepreneurs. It speaks to the past, the present, and the future. There's even an action plan for us that are serious about businesses that we wanted to take on. Entrepreneurship is one of the first things that he speaks about. And if you're an avid reader, this is a 5-part series. So this is not only a great resource for ourselves, it's a great resource for us as parents. We can teach it and incorporate it into our lesson plans for our children.
Knowledge born. What's the science, baby?
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. That in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get back to the gritty.
Best developed by recognizing the common enemy.